no easy way to say this, so I'm just gonna say it. When I was living in California, I tried to pass a drug screen, but I ended up failing it. I failed the drug screen because I had smoked a joint 2 months prior, and it wasn't completely out of my system. All right. One of the reasons why I smoked a joint, because I was depressed. I was living in my car. My wife at the time had left, taking my 2-year-old son, and there was nobody there living in California but me. So I tried to pass a drug screen, and I went about it all the wrong ways, and I got caught. This was a little over a year ago. I'm in Georgia over a year later, and I have my national registry to get on the ambulance, and the Georgia DPH, Department of Public and Health, had a hearing, and they rejected me because of that. What happened in California almost a year ago. So I called the EMS authority in California, and they said my time would be, I will be able to resubmit my application to fix everything in California in about a month from now. That will make it a total year. Okay. So meanwhile, I'm living in Georgia almost 5 months. I take this EMR class that this one company is putting on, and I didn't know that I can still practice until you have to create an account with National Registry, and I see that, oh, I'm still eligible to get my license back. So I do that, and on the national level, I was able to get my license back, but on the state level, I wasn't able to get my state certification because Georgia Department of Public and Health stated that they rejected my license because of what I did over a year ago. Okay. So I wasn't allowed to practice as an EMT in the state of Georgia, but as an EMR, I was still able to transport or at least drive patients from here to there. And I didn't tell my bosses what exactly happened in Georgia. And they knew it was taking a while for them to approve everything, according to the lady in California. It would be another month before I can have everything approved. So I figured I'd just wait it out. I told the lady where I was working that it would be about another month before I can get everything straight. Some kind of way they end up finding out. They end up talking to the Georgia DPH, Department of Health, and Department of Public and Health, and they told them what happened. So I got fired yesterday because of that. I was in paramedic school. I was 3 weeks in. I had already done my homework and I'd already done my assignments. I had already rode on the ambulance. I just didn't touch a patient. I did third rides. They call it a third ride when you have two people that's in the ambulance and the third person is just in there to help and observe and watch. And I've already done that. I've already did this thing called LifeLink, to where you can transport organs from airport to hospital. So the doctors, we brag a team there. I had already been working and I already was on a schedule. So I got fired because they found out some stuff that I did in California, which I didn't want to tell them. Nobody asked. If anybody would have asked, I would have told them. Because when I went to work yesterday, they told me they wanted to talk to me. So I talked to 3 people at the same time. When one of my bosses asked, tell me about California, I did. And I told him everything. I got fired because I didn't tell him sooner. So I didn't know how to tell people that I was living in my car, and I have been for about almost 2 years now. July will be 2 years. I didn't want people to know what was going on in my personal life, as long as I was able to do my job and do everything right. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to tell any of my bosses, and the embarrassment of living in my car. I had hoped to work for a little bit to save up a couple of paychecks so I can get a place. So I didn't want to tell them. I went to speak to the ladies at DPH. I've actually visited with them a few times just so I could try to straighten things out. One of the ladies told me that they had a hearing and it was out of her hands. I totally get it. And she said it was more of a character thing. So I wrote down some numbers of all the people of all the jobs that I worked at, just so she can get a reference. But it was inappropriate for me to just show up and to do things like that. So I didn't tell anybody at my job. I was already in paramedic class, my 3rd week. I had already passed the EMR class. I was trying to just move on and never revisit California again, as far as that goes, as far as what I had did in California. So they end up finding out, and I end up getting fired because I didn't tell them exactly what happened in California. So I am still living in my car. I have no job. I'm not in class anymore because it was a job that was putting on a class, and I was 3 weeks in, and I do not know what my next move is. Alright, so this is the car that I've been living in for almost 2 years right now. Actually, let me show you what I got that's in the back. So I'm in the back seat, and I have my books, basically, from class that I was studying with. My cue cards, thing like that, my drug cards. It's like 47, 50 of them, 50 drugs. This is my book sack. This is my jacket that I wear, kind of a uniform. And at the bottom is the shirt that I still have from work. My book sack that I can carry my computer in because I needed a computer to do the homework assignments that was on it. And I was basically going to school, and trying to work, and after work I'd clean up, sleep in my car, and repeat the cycle. So I was never late, and that's almost with that is with all of my jobs that I worked. I was never late. I always did my job, stayed late. That's it. I never really had a problem as far as my patient and working the ambulance, like talking about. It got hard in my personal life, and it just tore me up. So some things that I just couldn't handle, and it broke me to pieces. And it was really hard, and I tried to self-medicate with cannabis. I did, with marijuana. And because of that, I feel like it's a life sentence. So I can't work in Georgia, the state of Georgia, because of it. I can't be productive like I need to be because of it. And it's like it's almost worse because I got in class and I was doing well. I got on a regular shift and I was doing well, and it just got stripped away from me all of a sudden because I didn't have a conversation with upper management like I should. So it's a little tough to swallow because I'm in Georgia and I don't really have a whole lot of family here. So, and I'm trying to figure out my next move.